Hello to all the Shiplake pupils and parents. I'm standing outside Skipwith House. It doesn't feel like too long ago that I was walking up those steps with Mr. Brown and Mr. Jones through those doors in to speak to you at prize giving at the end of June. But the summer has flown, and so too have been our plans for getting this place up and running. And I'm delighted to say that Shiplake College will reopen with all its pupils at the start of September. Now, this recording is introducing you to the new normal, the new routines, the new activities, how school is going to operate for each year group. So please watch closely, follow the instructions, and then there's no excuse. You'll know how the school is going to operate. And more than anything else, what I'm looking forward to is seeing you arrive with smiles on your faces, grateful to be back at school. I know the teachers are so excited to have you back, and we're going to hit the ground running. Prize giving was amazing, and we're going to make the strongest possible start to the new academic year.
Hi, we are all really looking forward to welcoming you back to Shiplake, both new pupils and existing pupils. Things will be a bit different, and we're going to explain to you in as much detail as we can what will be different. The shape of the day remains pretty much the same. Day boys and girls will arrive at around 8 o'clock on their buses. You will go straight to your houses. The houses will be organised very differently, and your housemasters will be in touch with you to tell you what the arrangements are there. At 8:20 we will have assemblies in chapels, but remotely, as we did last term. Break times, you will be in your year group areas within your houses, and breaks will be delivered to you. Lunch will be longer. You'll still eat in your year groups, but there'll be a one-way system in the Great Hall, and that again will be explained to you. Supper, similar times. We've offered you a 4:30 pickup, day pupils, if that is convenient for families. So that's 4:30 if you wish, but the buses will remain at 6:15 in the evening. Parents, when dropping off pupils, both at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, we ask you please not to get out of your cars. Thank you. Face coverings. There's been a lot in the press recently about face coverings. We're asking every pupil and every member of staff to bring face coverings to school. There will be times of the day when you will be required to wear a face covering, so please make arrangements to bring those with you. If you're travelling on school transport, you will also wear a face covering, both on the journey to school and the journey from school. If that is the case, you'll need to bring two. One for your journeys and one for your time at school. Pastoral issues, by far, as far as I'm concerned, the most important things. We will look after everybody. We recognise that everybody's experience over lockdown is different. Everybody has their own stories. Some of them very happy with some fantastic achievements, some very sad indeed. And as ever, all the staff here and all the senior pupils will be there to look after you. Please keep in touch. If pupils or parents have any concerns, let us know. I ask all pupils to be sensitive. I ask all pupils to respect social distancing, to respect each other's needs, to be aware of people around them who may be upset, and to do something about it, to act responsibly. We ended last term with the mantra, kindness is the new cool. We start it this term with kindness is the new norm. So we look forward to seeing you. Please keep in touch. Please communicate with us any concerns, and I hope you all have a great term.
So just a bit of housekeeping in terms of the way the day will work from a house perspective when we return in September. The first thing you'll notice is that there will be yellow signs that show you where you should be. They will indicate which year group should be in which areas. They will also indicate from a house perspective which doors and facilities should be being used, any one-way systems, and so on and so forth. Registration when you come in the morning will look a little bit different for those of you that were here last year. We will be registering in year groups, and you will be in your year group designated area, and staff will visit you. These are the areas that we're going to be when we go for chapel and assembly, because for the start that will still be done online as it was during lockdown. Obviously this is going to present different challenges, but they're not any that we think are insurmountable, and we ask for your cooperation and patience with us as we work to get this right. In terms of break times, lunch times and dinner times, they will look a little bit different. Break, we will be in-house, and again we will be in our designated areas. Lunch times will run fairly similarly to how they have last year, but with a fairly strict time frame for when year groups are in the Great Hall and when they're not. The same will apply at dinner. Ultimately, we're really looking forward to seeing you back. Your housemasters will all be in touch with you to give you the specifics that relate to your own house, but we're doing our very best to make sure everything is as good as it can be and that we're as prepared as we can be.
Hello to all the pupils of Shiplake College. We are busy getting ready to welcome you back to our classrooms very shortly. We'll follow a normal academic timetable and you will be in your year group bubbles at all times. However, there will be some differences in the classrooms. There will be various one-way systems around the classroom blocks. Look out for the yellow signs and special tape to lead you. All pupils in classrooms will be facing the front where possible. Your teachers may not be able to move around the classrooms as easily as they'd like at the moment, but please do follow the teacher's instructions at all times. We're also planning for the possibility of some pupils needing to join us remotely, and further details will be sent as and when that's required. Despite the success of remote learning in the spring and summer terms, we can't wait for you to learn with us in person and bring your energy and bring these classrooms back to life.
Hi everyone, we're really looking forward to your return back to school. All of us here at Shiplake, as part of the Thomas Franks team, have been working really hard in the background to implement some safe procedures to make sure that your return to school is safe and enjoyable, especially when having your lunch. So I'm just going to walk through a normal sort of flow on a normal day for lunch to show you what we have implemented and so you have a better understanding of what to do on your return to school. So as you can see, we now operate a one-way system through the serving area as well as in the dining room, which I'm going to walk through now, starting with a hygiene station. So you're able to sanitize your hands before you even walk into the servery. So we've marked the floors with one-way direction arrows, so it's easy for you to follow through the dining hall and the servery, and it's all a one-way system as you can see. When approaching the hot counter, we have implemented small changes, which might be a little bit confusing to start, but I'm sure with some time we'll get used to it. As of now, your trays and cutlery will be picked up and served for you. As you can see, you'll be handed a tray with a napkin, sachets, cutlery on it ready for you, and your meal will then be served. All our staff have now been geared with the correct PPE to ensure that there's no exposure and a very safe service. With the one-way system in mind, we've had to close off a few sections, but we have repositioned them elsewhere in the servery. So we still have the two hot counters. However, there'll no longer be a self-service salad bar, but it will now be served for you from the middle section. All the desserts will be pre-potted and completely sealed for your own protection, and all displayed in the middle island for you to pick up easily after getting your hot meal. You'll then follow the arrows through the rest of the servery to make your way out to the dining hall, being able to pick up your fresh deli, ciabattas or baguettes along the side wall where hot desserts used to be. If you need to get some refreshments such as water or squash, that will be available for you from the water dispensers, and beakers will be positioned right next to that. And we've now implemented a complete touch-free water dispenser system for you. So you have your meal, you've made it through the servery, you now approach the dining hall. This too is a one-way system. You need to enter the dining hall on the most right-hand side of the entrance, coming through to the right. To sit down at any one of the rows of seating, you'd come in on the right-hand side, sit down, enjoy your meal, and exit to the left. Exiting the main hall on the left-hand side, making your way through to the clearing station to be able to get rid of your plates, your dirties, and any food waste you might have. And when exiting the main building, you would exit to the fire exit just on the right-hand side when coming out the main hall. Just to assure you that before and after each social bubble sitting for lunch, we will wash and sanitize all the tables and chairs and high touch points. That being said, social bubbles are being done in year groups, and year groups will come through together to have lunch. Please make reference to the brochure that has been sent out to you to understand what your time slot is to come through for lunch. We will follow the same sort of system for supper time, also with year group social bubbles, and following the same one-way system. For the boarders that are staying over, whether flexi, full or weekly boarders, we will have a very similar system through the servery, but when it comes to seating, we will have allocated table slots for you to sit at in your year group, making sure that you are socially distanced from any other social bubble within the area.
Welcome to our Shiplake isolation pod for COVID. We have two of these pods, pod A and pod B. If your child feels unwell during school and has suspicious COVID type symptoms such as a raised temperature and you cough, feeling shivery, or they're generally feeling very unwell, we would ask them to speak to their teacher or to a member of their house staff. The member of staff will then contact the medical wing, and the medical wing staff will meet them either at pod A or pod B to isolate them from the rest of the school. On arrival, they will be asked to put on a face mask, wash their hands and sit at least 2 meters away from the nurse who's with them. A brief history will be taken, examination will be taken, including checking temperature and the pulse rate of the patient. When we've ascertained the history and looked at all the results, we'll then decide whether there is a risk of coronavirus, and at that point we will contact parents or guardians, depending on whether the child is a day pupil or a boarder. If we suspect this is a case, you will be asked to remove your child from school as soon as possible, preferably within 2 hours. And you will need to contact 1119 to arrange for your child to have a COVID test. This is a simple test using a swab which goes down into the nose and into the back of the throat. There are two ways of doing this. It may be, if you phone early enough in the day, that a courier can deliver this to your house, or you may be asked to go to one of the designated centres to have this checked. There's centres nearby to here at the moment are currently in Newbury and in Oxford. In the event of a child testing positive for COVID, Public Health England or its equivalent will be in contact with the school to look into arrangements for quarantining those who may be deemed to be at risk.
Any child who's unwell should not be sent into school in the morning. Apart from COVID symptoms, children who are suffering of diarrhea and vomiting or a high temperature are not well enough to be in school. If they come into school, we will send them back home to you. If your child does have diarrhea and vomiting, they need to remain away from school till 48 hours after the last dose of diarrhea and vomiting, as this needs to be presumed infectious and is in line with the HPA guidelines. If your child has a minor ailment during school, they may see their house matron in the first instance, who's able to deal with simple issues. If the house matron is concerned, they will refer them straight up to the medical wing. On arrival at the medical wing, they will need to clean their hands, don a face mask, and have a seat until they can be seen. After assessment and treatment, if necessary, parents will be contacted if the child needs to go home, or the child may rest until they feel well enough to return to classes.
We are really looking forward to welcoming you back to sport at Shiplake. It's been great that you've been active during lockdown and over the summer, but it's time to offer a bit more structure. This term, we'll be offering our normal autumn sports, but also giving the opportunity to partake in some summer sports that you missed, for example, cricket, tennis, and there'll be lots more rowing this term. We've got more opportunity to have fixtures in tennis and cricket, along with the girls' hockey, whereas the rugby is going to be delayed because we can't play contact, but the focus for that will be building towards our Ready for Rugby tournaments on a Saturday morning. Buses will be arriving at 9 o'clock. You can come changed as normal. As for the rest of the week, please come in your uniform and you can change in your year group bubbles. Those bubbles is how you will be playing sport. So year 7 and 8 together as lower school, year 9, 10 and 11 will be separate, and the sixth form will be together.
Hello, and I really hope that you're looking forward to coming back to Shiplake next week. And we have been working hard here to make sure that you've got a full programme of activities to come back to for the autumn term. If you're in year 7 and 8, then you will be following a prescribed set of activities on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. In Year 9, you will be able to go through a rotation of activities on a Thursday afternoon, which will allow you to sample all of the great activities that the college can offer. On a Monday afternoon, you'll also be able to try out rowing before perhaps doing that a little bit more during the week in the sports programme. On a Monday, you'll also be able to sample some of the outdoor education experiences that we can offer. In Year 10, CCF remains compulsory for a Tuesday afternoon, and on a Thursday, again, you can go through the rotation of activities so that you get to sample everything. And hopefully, as things maybe improve later in the year, you'll be able to make an informed choice about what activities you'd like to do more of later. In Years 11, 12 and 13, you'll be able to make choices. Tuesdays and Friday afternoons are your activity afternoons, and you can make choices depending on your own personal preferences, albeit from a slightly limited range due to COVID restrictions, but we hope that we've offered something for everyone. So I really hope that you can enjoy it, and of course there's more information to come out by email next week.
So there you have it. We followed government guidance, which allows us to put in safety measures for the context of Shiplake College and also where possible. And I believe that we've created an environment here which is safe and secure for pupils, for teachers, for parents, for visitors, and also we're not sacrificing a positive teaching and learning environment. This is still a school which is rigorous, which expects the very best from its teachers and from its pupils, and I'm absolutely confident that we will get the school off to the best possible start, but also keep everybody safe. So please watch the video, follow the instructions. You are expected to do a few things a little bit differently, but we'll do it, and we'll make Shiplake work as we have done over the last few months. And I just can't wait to welcome you all personally back to the school.